It is Wednesday, September the 9th. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. It's Brent Bailey. Hopefully you're having a great day. We are back in the Cabin Fever Studios live here at the, it's not the Cabin Fever Studios anymore. It's the Expanding Your Search Studios. I don't know. Maybe we should call it something else. Direction Ministries Studios. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. We got a great show planned for you today. We have with us the host of Straight Talk with Hope Lamberson. And Jody and I had the privilege of being on the show with her a few weeks ago, and we're going to have her on to talk about some exciting new things with her, plus the podcast Straight Talk with Hope we're going to be on talking about that as well. I'm joined right now over at the desk by Luke and Jody, and let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Let's do this.
It is a great day here. I know that for us, we were, we mentioned it on Monday. We were out of town, and we were at my parents' 50th anniversary, and it was a great time. There was a lot of family there. We had a great celebration. We mentioned it a little bit on Monday, but it was a good time. And I want to just go ahead and go on record and tell everybody right now, my wife did an amazing job of planning and pulling off a really great party and celebration for my parents. She thought of a lot of things and pulled off a lot of things, and my job was easy, even though it was terrible.
Your job was
was the distraction. I distracted my mom and dad.
It was not very easy to get them
all day
out of the house.
And I'm just going to say, Ring cameras are great unless you're planning a surprise.
Right.
Then they're the devil. So, but we got creative. We put just a piece of paper over the Ring camera and kept my mom from discovering everything.
Yeah.
So
they have so many up there, though.
Yeah.
It was we couldn't,
What we should have done is taken a picture of the front yard, and then just put the picture like they do in the movies in front of the camera. But Jody did a great job, and I was very proud of her. And I want to thank all of my cousins and aunts and
we had so much help
and uncles
did have
jumping in to help us get it all set up. And Aaron, my cousin Aaron, was great at driving up and grabbing the tent. We rented a tent. It was a great time. Anyway, and he took it back for us yesterday. It was a great time.
It was a wonderful time. A lot of people there honoring your parents, and they fully deserve it. So. And
yeah. Anyway, let's move on. What's going on in the country today? There's lots of things happening, so let's jump right into it.
Well, to keep it lighthearted, right now, obviously, is what our goal is at the beginning here. Today, is National Care Bears Share Your Care Day.
Like the cartoon?
Well, yeah, but I was reading it, yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so Share Your Care Day. There's a lot of these that we've talked about, doing stuff for other people, sharing people, the fact that you care for them. And so treat a friend to coffee. These are ways to
show your care, share that you care with people.
I guess it's sponsored by Care Bears. I don't know. So share a toy with a sibling. That can be very hard sometimes.
Especially in this house.
Yes. Do an extra chore without being asked. That's kind of hard to do in this house, too.
And that one probably isn't going to happen too many. I think there are people that would do that, but not very many.
No, not very many.
Yeah.
Help an older neighbor bring their trash cans to the street.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So now that our trash has probably already been
You know what?
up,
I did it today without even thinking about it, but I emptied the dishwasher.
I know you did. You did. So you were sharing your care. Sponsored
Showing
by Care
you that
Bears.
I care. That's right.
Yes, sponsored by Care Bears.
Yeah. Organize a tree planting campaign.
Okay.
I mean, that's wonderful.
Great. Go for it.
Buy a meal for a homeless family, which would be very nice to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we like to go through. Now they're not homeless, but buying a meal for somebody, you just never know what somebody's going through.
What if you just purchased a Care Bear for somebody and just gave it to them?
I mean, as long as it's a little kid.
Your sister.
I like Care Bears.
Your sister and my. It was a great cartoon in the 80s and very big toy.
Yeah.
But speaking of the cartoon, we have people that go to that are related to us that pastor a church in California. Jody's sister Jenny and Brian. And one of the voices of the Care Bears, I believe, goes to church there.
So yes, she does.
Katie.
Yeah.
I think Katie was
Yeah.
one of the Care Bears.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
crazy.
It is crazy.
So, anyway, moving on. What else?
Moving on. So it's also National Teddy Bear Day.
What is the teddy bear industry owned today or something?
Apparently. No, because the third one, no, it's not.
Well, they have two right off the bat.
Really.
So
But yes, National Teddy. This is Peyton's, but
that would be a good question of the day. Why don't you drop down below us right here while you're sharing the podcast today? If you're watching on Facebook, or just click that share button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button and share along. But right there in the comment section below, why don't you just post a picture of you with your teddy bear? Some of you folks surely have old pictures of yourself with a teddy bear.
yeah.
And tell us what their name was. Did you have one, Luke?
No.
You didn't have a teddy bear? Or any kind of stuffed animal that you slept with or carried around when you were a child?
No.
Yours were just imaginary friends? That you just,
Yeah.
Your mom's like, who are you talking to?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mine was a really long, skinny teddy bear. And I was probably too harsh on it because they were extremely collectible. I can't remember the name of the company, but they were collectible bears. And he had a little yellow basketball jersey and purple shorts, and his name was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. I like that.
He had the number 33 and the glasses, the full 9 yards.
Yeah.
He was based on, of course, Kareem, the basketball player.
Yeah.
But like my Aunt Tina, she had Humphrey Beargart and Lauren Bear Call from Casablanca, and they were both dressed like that. And there was a whole slew of famous characters that they changed the names of.
Your mom has.
Oh, my mom's bed, that whole front room
whole
there.
front room is.
The front
teddy
room
bears.
is teddy bears.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
really got
Hundreds.
into the whole teddy bear or stuffed animal thing because me and my sister were addicted to television at a young age.
Did you have other action figures that you played with? And
We had a Super Nintendo.
that's
It's not an
nice.
action figure.
So anyway,
Maybe.
it's Teddy Bear Day.
Yes, it
And
is.
so is that, how are we supposed to celebrate? Is that close to?
I think just hug your teddy bear
All right
a
then.
little bit tighter. I don't
So
know.
what was your teddy bear's name? Post a picture if you have it, and we'd love to see
Yes.
all about that. All right, what else is going on?
Okay. The last one is National Wiener Schnitzel Day. Now,
All right,
see,
so that's hot dogs.
no, it's not.
So it's
not
pretty
really.
close.
It's-
Similar, yeah, right.
It's similar, but
It's what the hot
still-
dog is based on.
Yes, it's based in Germany.
Yes.
It's a German dish.
It's like a pastry filled with a wiener, right?
Like a pig in a blanket?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's traditionally served with lettuce salad, cucumber salad, or potato salad.
Okay.
You can serve it with parsley potatoes.
Wow.
This is for those of you who would like to go and experiment and make Wiener Schnitzel.
Well, all right.
So yeah, it's National Wiener Schnitzel Day.
All right.
Never
Is
had
that
that.
is that all of the national
That's
day?
it. That is it for today.
Well, all right
Yeah.
then. Well,
So
wow, that's a lot of interesting things going on today. I'll just make this real quick. Do you know where teddy bear got its name?
No?
No idea.
I don't know.
They're
Tell
named
us.
after Teddy Roosevelt,
Oh, okay.
the president.
Okay.
I don't know what he had to do with bears, but
He was a bear.
they got the name. Well, I mean, he was big conservation. He's the guy that started the whole conservation movement.
Yeah.
National parks and things like that. But I don't know why the bear was tied into Teddy Roosevelt. But anyway, teddy bears are named after Theodore Roosevelt. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah. So anyway, well, all right. Let's get to our show today. Our guest today, Jody and I had the pleasure of being on her program a few weeks ago. She is the host of Straight Talk with Hope, and I've known her since she was young. I mean, I used to do youth camps, and one year we in Kentucky and Tennessee was a region for our denomination, and then her dad, Ronnie, was the regional director for Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. So one year we combined those regions, and we all went to Panama City, Florida for the camp, and I got to meet her and her brother then, and then their church and their youth pastor. Was already familiar with the church anyway, and then she was a student at Rhema Bible College, and I really kind of got to know her a little bit more there. And then she went home back to her home church and became the youth pastor there. And it was a thriving church in Jackson, Mississippi, and she was the youth pastor there. And we used to have her come and speak for us at our youth conferences. And then she started bringing her youth groups to our summer camps. And if you listened to us on her program a few weeks ago, she actually told the story that I was in the pool with her when she did her first baptism of all times, and it was great memories to see somebody grow up and be what they're supposed to be. In 2017, she launched a live Bible study online and on Instagram, and it's every Monday night. It's called Straight Talk with Hope, which has developed into a podcast where she has other guests and things like that on. And she is, married to a great young man that she calls Beefcake. And we know his family. And anyway, it's just a real pleasure to have with us on the program today, Hope Lamberson. And she is with us, joining us from the car. She's, you need to turn your camera one more time. Yeah, there we go. There she is. She's on her way to pick her kids up because she's a good mom. So, but they're getting ready to get out of school. Hope, man, thanks so much for coming and being with us today.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
How's everything in Mississippi?
Everything is looking really good. It's still a little hot here, but other than that, it's going good.
Now, let me just ask this. How has COVID affected everything there? Has it really been crazy, or has Mississippi gotten off?
Yeah, it's kind of been a little crazy. I think mainly like here, just being a mom and with like schools and stuff, like we really weren't sure if they were going to go back. And so my boys, I have 3 little boys, and they are all in public schools. And so the first 2 weeks, they were kind of doing the hybrid schedule, which was basically like they homeschool 3 days a week here, and then they go to actual school in person for 2 days. But thank God now we are at school 5 days a week, and I am so excited.
I'm sure that's a break now for you a little bit to kind of breathe and maybe relax a little bit. And
totally.
How did you handle the homeschooling thing? Was that really?
No, that was not my jam at all. Like I struggled really trying to become a teacher in 3 different grades, and everyone trying to share one computer until we were like, we have to get another computer. And I was like, the Lord knows I am not called to be a teacher at all.
I know exactly what you mean. I don't know how, but when we were wrapping up the school year last year, I got doing math with my 7th grader. I was not a math guy, but thank God we weren't. His school hasn't done Common Core or anything like that. But I found myself ready to pull my hair out. I was like, oh my gosh. It's I totally feel you there. So let's just jump into a couple of things here. First of all, you've been involved at the church since you were born. And when your brother assumed the responsibilities after your dad passed away, you and your husband have kind of really been, Pastor Joel's right arm there. But tell us a little bit. I know the church just moved into a new building and is really kind of hit another gear.
Yeah, we moved into a new building several years ago, and we've extended adding different phases throughout different years. And me and my husband have been there. Actually, my husband's been there almost 18 years. I was there for 19 years just last December. And wow. It's been amazing just to be growing, spiritually, but also just maturing in the education of running a church business, like spiritual side, but also having to run it like a real corporate business. And you learn as you go. And so we've just taken one step in front of the other to progress into the direction that God just has for our church, and super thankful for all of that growth to where it's actually led us today.
Now, you touched on something right there that you said that you've been able to grow and mature into something don't you find that that's kind of the great thing about God during these journeys like this is that he gives you such grace to grow and do and really operate at a level that you know you've been trained for, but
Yeah,
you don't really
absolutely.
have that experience to do, and that grace just kind of comes on you to do it, doesn't it?
Yes, 100% it does.
All right, so let's talk about your podcast. You started in 2017, and it seems like it started as just as an online Bible study.
Yeah.
What was the heart behind that?
It's kind of a long story, but I guess you could say in 2015, the Lord just really dealt with me personally about doing live feeds, Bible studies online. And at that time, Instagram didn't even have the live feature. And so I really just kind of went to the Lord about it. And I was like, Lord, I don't know where you're going with this. I don't feel comfortable being on social media, let alone doing a live Bible study. And where is that option even available? And he just had me kind of writing out many messages, if you will. And I would always like hashtag the titles. And I told the Lord, I was like, what do you want to call it? And he was like, Straight Talk. And I just laughed because those people that know me and my personality, like, I'm pretty much going to speak my mind, which is not always great. But the Lord was like, Hope, I just want you to communicate a message that is giving the word of God straightforward, because it is the truth of God's word that sets people free. And so I was like, okay, Lord. And then shortly after that is when Instagram actually launched the live feature. And so I would get online every Monday at 12 noon and go live and do these hashtags, about 20 to 30-minute live Bible studies every week. Did them for years. We actually still do them. They're now just moved to Tuesdays to accommodate COVID and everything. But that turned into a podcast. And so the podcast Straight Talk with Hope was actually launched last May of 2019. And the Lord has just been so faithful and blessed on so many different levels, with people subscribing in the podcast and watching all around the world, as well as even in other countries. So I'm just so thankful to just be obedient to whatever he's asking me to do.
Now, you started adding guests to the podcast, and we were totally touched that you would even ask us to be on. But we had a blast doing that. But besides us, who else? I mean, have you got somebody coming up that you want to promote now, or do you want to talk about who you got coming on?
Yeah, I've actually I've got one, or I've actually got two coming up in September, and one is actually going to be a 14-year-old girl who actually was diagnosed with cancer at age 7 and has overcome it, been healed, and beat the cancer. And so with September kind of being your childhood cancer awareness month, she's based out in Dallas, and she actually passed a law through Congress in the White House called the STAR Act. And so she's actually going to be coming up this weekend on the podcast. And then for October, we have another guest coming on that I'm super excited about. Not quite ready to reveal who that is.
Okay.
At the moment, but yeah, God is just bringing, the right people every month to it. So
That's so awesome. Now that has now kind of led you to work on what is an upcoming devotional. Now, if I'm reading it now, you tell me if I've gotten this right. It's a 31-day devotional, and it's going to be called Straight Talk. I guess it's going to be based on the podcast. Yeah. But stop the excuses and start the progress. It's not out yet, but give us a little sneak peek of what we can see, look forward to.
Yeah, so in that book, it's already kind of, been written, and it's getting edited and hopefully published soon. But the Lord, again, just put it on my heart to kind of carry that cycle from the Straight Talk live feeds to the podcast down to a 31-day devotional book through these hashtags. And one of the chapters in there is about vision, and it's broken down by 5 or 6 different 5 or 6 different subtitles of hashtags. And then another chapter is about emotions, just different things. And basically it's doing what it says. It's speaking God's word truthfully, but to quit allowing ourselves to make whatever excuses we make in our lives and start making the progress with what God has for our lives.
It sounds it's like it's going to be a real challenge and a real good, fire underneath of some people to get themselves moving. So, okay, so as we start to let you, really concentrate on getting your kids out of school here, in this time we've seen so much with people just really living in fear or confusion. There's, especially in recent weeks, there's been so much upheaval and unrest in the country. I just wanted to give you a minute to encourage everybody to just use what you're giving, you and your husband are doing now to encourage yourselves, to encourage our audience real quick.
Yeah, I would just say with everything going on, even in my own life as a wife and a mom, and during times of the unknown and uncertainty, we've all experienced on some sort of level disappointment, letdown, even loss. For all of us that looks different. It may be loss of a job or finances or even a loved one through COVID or whatever it may be. And through those seasons of difficulty and the unknown, the Lord has just always kind of directed me during COVID that there is still hope for you. Like, no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, whatever pain or whatever, like, you're not alone. That God says, as long as we cling and hold on to him and his word and his promises, that there is still light at the end of the day, that God is still a good God. He sees us, he cares for us, he loves us, and he has the best plan and intentions out for our lives. As long as we continue to trust him and put our whole heart of hope into him, knowing that he still says that we can win in this thing because he is for us. And so I would just say that, like, when you're, in a situation where you feel like you want to give up or quit or make excuses or quit believing, to know that God has not forsaken you. Like, he loves you, and nothing catches God off by surprise. He saw everything from the beginning to the end. And he says that I've got you basically in the palm of my hand, as long as you're just willing to do what I'm asking you to do, surrender your life and trust me along the way. And he'll see us through, because he's a good God and he's a faithful God.
That's so good. Hope, I can't tell you how proud I am of you, and I'm just so excited for what you got going on, and I can't wait for the devotional to come out. We're going to throw your information up on the screen right now. If you want to catch Hope's podcast, it is tell us again, it's every Tuesday?
It's every Tuesday at 12 live on Instagram.
All right. And right there it is. It's at Hope Lamberson on Facebook and on Instagram. You can go and download the podcast from the Apple Podcast. It's Straight Talk with Hope right there. She is also on YouTube, and I believe we try and have all of our guests' YouTube channels linked on our YouTube channel. So if you just scroll down there, you'll see Hope's link on YouTube as well. We couldn't be happier for you, and we are so excited for you. Hope, thank you so much for coming and being on the program today. And make sure that you pass our love along to Ryan and your brother, and of course those 3 boys that you're getting ready to pick up from school.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me. I so enjoyed it. I hope y'all have a great day.
You too. All right, that's Hope Lamberson, everybody, from Straight Talk with Hope. It's on every Tuesdays at noon right there on Instagram Live. And if you'd like to tune in more, once again, there is her information up on the screen at Hope Lamberson on Facebook and Instagram, and Straight Talk with Hope on Apple Podcasts. All right, so I'm going to bring Jody back on for real quick. She's excellent.
What?
Hope's a great.
She is.
It's just a great.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed over the last several weeks. I mean, I've always known her. Oh, I guess I need to be on screen. Sorry, I forgot to put myself on there.
That's okay.
For years we've known Hope and Ryan and and her brother, and but I've been following her for a little while, and just really encouraged through what she does and what she's been speaking and the guests she's had. It's a lot of as you can see, she brings forth a lot of happiness. She's just very positive, and It's great. I'm really glad we were able to have her on.
Yeah, I am too.
I'd like to have her on again. So.
And I am too. So I do want to say one more time, as we switch gears, get ready to wrap up the show, I am very thankful and proud of you for what you did for my mom and dad's 50th anniversate, and just want to tell you thanks. And you did a great job.
Thank you.
I love you very
Annie.
much.
I love you too.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, wait, we got to throw that on there. So, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, I will say it was a really fun weekend.
It really was.
It really was.
It really was.
So.
All right, coming up Friday on the program, I have got an unbelievable guest. You know, listen, we have great guests. All of our guests, I would put a 5 stars next to any of our guests. But there's sometimes that you just get guests and you go, wow, I can't believe we actually are going to have them. A few years ago, when I was a youth pastor, I was very excited that we would, every year at our Summer Blitz Youth Conference, we would have a musical guest in. And we were able to get this guy in, and he was one of the big stars in Christian rap. Now, I know that immediately causes some people to pause. He actually wrote a song directed to Eminem called Dear Slim, and it was kind of an offshoot of Eminem's song Dear Slim, right? That what is? No, Stan. It was called Stan. Yeah, that's what it was. It was called Stan. And it was a letter about a fan had written to Eminem, and he had some disturbing issues. This gentleman wrote a letter straight to Eminem and a song telling him about Jesus, and this song became very controversial. There was a lot of people that were upset by it, not because of the content, but because that somebody actually used the same vehicle to preach Jesus to Eminem. It was a great thing. So, of course, if you know what I'm talking about, I've got KJ52. He's going to be coming to be on the program on Friday. We're really super excited to have KJ on. He's moved on to some great things. He's producing now. He's still doing still writing raps and still doing his own albums and things like that. But he's also doing some ministerial work that's amazing. And I'm super excited to be having KJ on the program on Friday. So make sure you tune in for that. My thanks again to Hope Lamberson for coming and being our guest on the program. If you want to catch her podcast again, it's Tuesdays at noon on Instagram Live. All right. Until Friday, for Jody and for Luke, we hope that you found what you were looking for as you expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.